Welcome back everybody, Matt the Man here, hope you're doing well. For the 4th, the Netflix, then we're gonna go 4 for 4 this year, in 2024. And we're gonna put out Beverly Hills Cop 4 on the 4th in 2024. I'm looking forward to this. This is a new Beverly Hills Cop movie. This is once again a long-awaited sequel. The last Beverly Hills Cop movie came out in 1994. So 30 years ago. 30 years and we saw Eddie Murphy as Axel F. You know what, I grew up with the first Beverly Hills Cop. This was one of those Sunday movies where my mom would go to work and my dad was in charge of me, my brother, my sister, and he's like, what am I going to do with them? What am I going to do with them all day? I don't know, figure it out. I have them Monday through Friday and Saturday. You just got to deal with them one day a week. Figure it out, Tim. What was the figuring out? You got options. We watch football on Sunday football. Or we put on a movie. But no, we're not watching your stupid little kids movies. We're gonna put on an Arnold movie, Terminator, Predator, True Lies, no, that's not. Total Recall, Jingle All the Way, Junior, Kindergarten Cop. Or we're gonna put on, I don't know, Beverly Hills Cop. Eddie Murphy, regular, what up? Drugs, sex, nudity, violence. Hey! Perfect movie for a little elementary school kid. Yeah. I don't remember ever seeing the sequels, second or third. But I might have seen parts of one of them. Can't remember because I've never seen all of them. All the way through. But I did grow up watching that original Beverly Hills Cop many times. That was like my introduction to Eddie Murphy. Not to mention that after that, you know, the Nutty Professor, Dr. Dolittle. Movies or roles that he is known for. You know, the Nutty Professor. Hercules. Finally, we get a long-awaited Beverly Hills Cop that has been in the works for a very long time. They've been trying to make another one for a very, very, very long time. And we finally got it. And I was at first a little skeptical. I was. Number one, it's a Netflix movie. And we know how Netflix can be sometimes more bad than good when it comes to their movies. There's really not that many good, great Netflix original movies. The Irishman, Marriage Story, I need help here. A lot of shit. So even the last Eddie Murphy Netflix movie, You People, with Jonah Hill. That was actually pretty good. It wasn't like top tier. It was like in the middle. They had some great humor, especially with Eddie Murphy. You know, and that's the thing. I'm like, well, you got Eddie Murphy, Matt. You got Judge Reynolds back. You got John Ashton back. So, you know, they, ooh, and I like that trailer. Looked like a good trailer. Felt like Beverly Hills Cop. So they, you know what? I'm looking forward to this. Let's watch. So I watched it on 4th of July. And let me tell you, I enjoyed it. I thought it felt very much like a Beverly Hills Cop movie. It was rated R, you got the language. You got profanity, you got sexual humor, you got Eddie Murphy being Axel F. That's the thing here. You know, even the last, I don't know however, you really haven't seen that much of Eddie Murphy. And it was one of those things that was like, can he, you know, get back in the role like he did, like, you know, 30 years later? You know, look at Martin Lawrence when he did Bad Boys 3, Bad Boys for Life. That was one of the weaker parts of that movie, me and Martin Lawrence. kind of stopped acting for a long time. Like, ever since, like, Bad Boys 2, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna semi-retire. And he really didn't do that much in that 17 years. And you can definitely tell in that first new Bad Boys movie that, yeah, Martin Lawrence doesn't feel like the Martin Lawrence of the last Bad Boys movie. But then this recent Bad Boys, he was back in his normal, the shoe fit finally. Not the glove. If the glove don't fit, he must have quit. No worries. Eddie Murphy, he easily gets back in the role from the moment he shows up on screen. You're watching Axel Foley like he never left, like it hasn't been 30 years. And Eddie Murphy is great. He's so funny in this movie. He's in his 60s and he doesn't even look like it, number one. Number two, he still has that humor, that off-kilter, R-rated humor that is just my type of humor. Black comedy. No. I like the action. I was surprised that Netflix, for a Netflix original movie, the action in this movie works. You can tell a lot of it is very practical. I didn't notice any CGI. I noticed a lot of practical stunts on location, on, stuntmen and all that, and, whatever. And I thought, man, for Netflix, this looks really, really, really good. It's a shame this wasn't in theaters, Netflix. This movie could have been a huge hit on the 4th of July weekend. You remember that movie Top Gun Maverick that made a lot of money over Memorial Day weekend? A long-awaited sequel with the original actor Tom Cruise. The humor, like I said, I was laughing throughout this entire movie. It's really funny. If you like action and you like comedy, this is a good one. What else? Joseph Gordon-Levitt, my man. Where have you been? JGL, where have you been? JGL has been around for a very long time. All the way back to the early 90s with Angels in the Outfield. It was a little boy. The other boy was Eddie Murphy. And this Joseph Gordon, it's like Eddie Murphy, like, we got two actors that haven't been around for a while coming back into one movie. It's like Hercules. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, especially in the 2010s, early 2010s, he was everywhere. I mean, this motherfucker was everywhere. He was in Inception. He was in The Dark Knight Rises. He was in Looper. He was in 50-50. He was in Steven Spielberg's Lincoln. He was in that bike riding movie where he's riding a bike throughout the city, directed by David Cohen, who did Secret Window. I mean, this dude, he was in Sin City 2. He was everywhere. Everywhere you look, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And it was like, where the fuck is Joseph Gordon-Levitt? And he is here, and I like him. He's good. His banter with Eddie Murphy is great. I can see a whole movie with just them two going on a mission together. He's funny. He works in the police station. He's an FBI guy. He used to date Eddie Murphy's, Axel Foley's daughter. So there's some bonding there. And I really like Joseph Gordon-Levitt in here. I hope if they do make another Beverly Hills Cop, they bring him back. I like the soundtrack in here. As soon as this movie begins, you get The Heat Is On, famous song from the original, from the 80s. And I've heard people complain, I can't believe they started this movie with that song at the very beginning of the movie. It's like, I know you want to do nostalgia, but really? It's like, people, 2 years ago, we had Top Gun Maverick, and the movie started with Danger Zone. No one complained about that. And guess what? I like that. You want a song that is tied to a movie to get you back in the world of that world. And just like Top Gun Maverick, when you hear Danger Zone, right away when the opening credit, when the movie first begins, and you see the fighter jets flying over the ocean, landing on the carrier. It gets you back in that mood. When I hear the heat is on, and you see Eddie Murphy driving around, and he's just like looking, fly motherfucker, you are back in that mood. You were back in that world like you never left 30 years ago. And it got me right, and then you get the Beverly Hills theme song throughout the movie. And I personally like, a lot of people like, they use it way too much. I'm like, maybe a little bit. But hey, I liked it. It got me into the world. And Kevin Bacon here, he's like the main police guy. Anything with Kevin Bacon, how do you like your bacon? I like him. I like Kevin. Who doesn't like Kevin Bacon? It's Footloose. I mean, Peter Quill likes Kevin Bacon. He has a twofer this weekend. He has a movie on Netflix and a movie in the theater. He's a twofer. The only movie that you don't like Kevin Bacon in is Crazy Stupid Love. Am I right, Steve Carell? There are two references. One of them is from Shrek. I think you should figure it out. If you don't figure it out, you're not a Shrek fan. And another one is Happy Gilmore. If you don't get the Happy Gilmore reference in this movie, oh my god. You've never seen Happy Gilmore. My negatives with this movie. You actually don't get that much of Judge Reynolds and John Ashton. You get more of John Ashton than Judge Reynolds. Basically, what you see in the trailer is about what you get of Judge Reynolds. And I think that's going to be a huge disappointment, because the trailer hypes us up of the three of them back on the case, and you really don't get much of them at all. Though that was a bummer. Maybe if they do make another one, they can actually have all three of them team up. So that was not my main one. Surge. The character Surge, kind of like a gay, homosexual guy who was in Beverly Hills Cop 2 and 3. I don't know that because I've never seen them, but apparently you can completely take his entire scenes out of the movie. That would cut out about 7 to 8 minutes of the movie right there. He's only in one long, sequence, and you can completely take that out. It did nothing for the film, nothing for the plot. Pacing. This movie's an hour and 46 minutes, or an hour and 49 minutes right before credits. And like I said, if you took out the third scene, this movie would probably be about an hour 40 or under. And that would have been perfect. The second act kind of slows down a little bit. Especially when we deal with the father-daughter relationship. I didn't mind that, but I thought it started to become a little bit repetitive. And then when you add the third sequence, it's really like, okay, you needed to work on this second act and tighten it up a little bit. A fun action comedy. And I think this movie would have played great in the theater. Even if you put it in for only 1 week. This movie would have made money. Who doesn't want to see a new Beverly Hills Cop with Eddie Murphy, with Judge Reynolds, with John Ashton, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Kevin Bacon, and it's an action comedy. Anyway, let me know in the comments below, are you a fan of Beverly Hills Cop 4 or Beverly Hills Cop Axel Foley? Let me know in the comments below, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button at the back.